Let's get the final show of the week out of the way. Aaron, Michael, appreciate you guys both being in the chat this morning. I'm sure there'll be some more guys popping in as well. But let's start here. The Kevin Durant trade saga is starting to really heat up. And I've got to be honest with you guys. If you're a Phoenix Suns fan, I think it's time to get a little bit more optimistic about what a potential Kevin Durant trade can look like. And the reasoning for that would be this. There are a lot of fans out there that are in my comment section, or in Locked On Suns' comment section, consistently and nauseatingly tweeting every time you talk about a Kevin Durant trade saga and say, man, Jeremy Sohan, the 14th overall pick, Devin Vassell, and the number 12 overall pick, and Harrison Barnes and Jeremy Sohan, man, that is just way too much for Kevin Durant. It's hilarious the amount of fans that are so against a Kevin Durant trade and trading anything of substance for him, but they all know he's going to be a part of their franchise. Like, take Spurs fans, for instance. They all want Kevin Durant, but in the same breath, they can acknowledge how great Kevin Durant is, how much they want him as a part of their organization, but then also say, oh, but you're not getting anything because he's a 37-year-old bum. You can't have it both ways. You can't say in one breath, man, who wouldn't want a player that was just one season removed from a 50, 40, 90 season and averages 25, 5, and 5. And then say to yourself, oh, but that guy's not worth anything. He's not worth anything. You have to pick a lane. Either Kevin Durant is a washed 37-year-old scrub who doesn't know how to play basketball anymore, or he's still one of the top 12 players in the NBA, and it's going to cost you more than a bag of Cheez-Its to bring him to your team. And I'm of the minority at this point, where I think Kevin Durant is going to go for more than you think, not less. And here's where I go with that. I tweeted out something last night about Mat Ishbia. And I tweeted out this, and I got a little bit of interest on social media. Final thought of the night. I think we might all be overlooking Mat Ishbia's ability to negotiate and make deals. He's an ultra-successful businessman and knows a thing or two about cutting a deal. Just something to ponder when the Suns could get fleeced in a trade. I am not saying Mat Ishbia is a shark when it comes to GMing in the NBA. I'm not saying he's Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens or Rob Pelinka in the Luka Doncic deal. I'm not saying he's one of those. I'm not saying he's Pat Riley. I'm not saying he's one of those elite level tier general managers. But here's why I think Mat Ishbia might be the right guy for the job in any Kevin Durant deal. If there's one thing Mat Ishbia is, I would say, insanely prideful. I would say that this guy will do anything to prove to people he is an awesome general manager and an awesome owner in the NBA. It's already wildly reported that he is going to be spearheading this Kevin Durant trade saga, this Phoenix Suns trade saga. He's going to be spearheading it. He's going to be the one calling the GMs. He's going to be the one haggling over pricing. I think Mat Ishbia knows this is his one chance for a while to win all Phoenix Suns fans back. And the Phoenix Suns not only want to get a good deal for Kevin Durant, they don't have a choice. And I think Ishbia knows that. If they don't completely nail the Kevin Durant trade, it could snowball into an effect that eventually leads Devin Booker out that door too. They have to continue to put something around Devin Booker. And if they don't, it could completely snowball everything they do as a franchise. And it could snowball all the way down to losing Devin Booker and going down the drain as an organization for the next 10 years. So he knows he has to get this right. Ishbia might be so stubborn on a Kevin Durant trade that teams might understand that they might have to do a 3-4 team deal to get everything the Phoenix Suns want and more to make things satisfied to them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a fan at all of the accounts that were doing everything they can to get likes and retweets on a Kevin Durant trade. But my guy Brendan Clean from Locked On Phoenix Suns pointed this out to me last night, that it is interesting that they're all tweeting the same thing. Last night, Ari Report, who again I don't know anything about. It's one of those underground Twitter accounts that sometimes gets things right, sometimes doesn't. Flex from Jersey, who is a very nice guy, but is incredibly spotty in his reporting and hasn't been right on a whole lot recently. And DeColdis, who I have so many issues with because he doesn't put a face to a name on his account. He's mostly wrong. But one of two things was true last night. Either all three of these guys are right, and that's why they're all tweeting out the same thing last night about a potential Kevin Durant deal, or they all have the same source, and that's why they're all wrong all the time. So it's either one or the other. I didn't think at first it was anything until my buddy Brandon Clean pointed out to me. It is something that they're all tweeting out at the same time, and all tweeting out that the Suns look like they're going to get a haul. If these guys, I just don't know why you would tweet that if you weren't 1,000% sure that something big could be coming back to the Suns. And the reasoning for that is this. These guys are almost never right. And so when you tweet so confidently that the Suns could be getting back a real haul for Kevin Durant, whatever that looks like, maybe it's subjective. Maybe they think it's a haul and I don't think it's a haul. I do think that's something. Now I will continue to say, don't believe these accounts until they actually get something right consistently. Not just one-off things. Wait for real reporting. But I did think it was interesting last night that they were all tweeting out the same thing at the same time. And when my guy Brendan Clean told me that, I was like, that's a decent point. And all of this to say that I think the Suns have a chance to get back more for Kevin Durant, not less. Because Mat Ishbia is a stubborn businessman. And there's a deal out there that could help out all parties. But if you're asking me who I feel more confident in a Kevin Durant trade, Brian Gregory or Mat Ishbia, I wouldn't want either guy going to bat for me. But if I'm just comparing those two, Mat Ishbia, and it's not close. Mat Ishbia is a businessman. He's built companies up from nothing. He's incredibly smart. He's a shark in the business world. He has been in more negotiations than probably any of the other NBA GMs have. And I think that is going to be helpful. And because he knows just how massive this Kevin Durant deal is, and they cannot screw it up, I think there's a chance that the Suns get back more than we think, not less. Now, what does that mean? It means maybe they get back Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, the number 14th overall pick, and another pick. If that's the case, you got to take that if you're the Suns. Or maybe there's a world where the Suns get Stephon Castle. And it's Castle, Vassell, Barnes, and maybe a distant first. Maybe. I don't know. That seems unlikely to me. But it is interesting to see the way the things are trending. The guys that are kind of unreliable who are tweeting about it, and the guys like Shams Charania and Gambo talking about the market that is starting to be robust when it comes to Kevin Durant. So I think you should be more optimistic than pessimistic when it comes to a Kevin Durant deal. Ishbia is a stubborn businessman, And yes, he's made bad deals in the past. Before angry person in the comment section tries to tell me about the Cam McHale trade, Rudy Gobert had just been traded for 5 first-round picks. 4 first-round picks and a pick swap. Kevin Durant was always going to go for 4 first-round picks and a pick swap. That was the starting price. Like 5 months earlier, Rudy Gobert got traded. Kevin Durant was seen as a much better player than Rudy Gobert. Cam, and I know you love Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. Suns fans have completely overvalued them. What has Cam Johnson done? What has Mikal Bridges done? Bridges has had a tough stretch over the last couple of seasons. Cam Johnson has been rotting in Brooklyn. They're good players, guys, but they're no more than that. Just good players. And that takes me to the other one, the Bradley Beal trade. I don't know why everyone keeps forgetting, but it actually pisses me off. You gave up nothing for Bradley Beal. You just absorbed a terrible contract. But at the time, every Suns fan and their mother was over the moon to get Bradley Beal for Chris Paul and Landry Shamet. You hated Landry Shamet, and Chris Paul was 40. He was deteriorating. He was old. Wasn't the same player. Barely played with the Warriors the next season. Didn't make the playoffs with the Spurs the following season. And you gave up a bunch of pick swaps that will never be exercised because do you want to know why? The Wizards are never going to be worse than the Suns. The Wizards are never going to be better than the Suns. Well, how do you know that? The last 50 years tell me that. And now, as well, you gave up second-round picks. And no, I don't really care about second-round picks. They're a currency in the NBA. You can get them all the time. I just don't care. I mean, Nick Richards was traded for three second-round picks a couple of months ago. They don't matter that much. They just don't. So keep your eye out. I think a decent Kevin Durant trade could be in the works. I'm not saying believe all the nonsense reporting that was going on last night. In fact, I'd say for the most part, don't. But it was interesting that all the accounts that seem to be aggregating and don't actually seem to know anything are all getting told the same thing. So that's where I would land on that. Interesting stuff from last night.